Hey there, welcome to October of 2023. So, the 8 Universal Month is going to be a real test for those of us who are control freaks. That's right, you know who you are. I know who I am. I am a little bit of a control freak, self-confessed. But unlike, September that held that karmic debt influence of the 16/7, or as I prefer to refer to it as the crash, burn, and learn energy. Thank goodness we're past that. October is going to be more of a month where we're going to feel a little bit more inspired to manifest again. And that's a good thing. We're finally kind of coming out of our heads, right? So last month in September of 2023, you likely were a little bit too invested in your head, maybe a little unsure of what to do next, possibly feeling a little bit nervous about making that next step forward. But October now, that's going to be a really welcome shift for all of us, right? So September was just a heady kind of a month. It was just that kind of an energy. But October is going to be asking us to hit the ground running. It's going to be go time again, right? And that's a good thing, right? I can't wait. But before we talk about the influence of that universal month of 8, we need to revisit the universal influence of the universal year of 7. It's a lot of universals, isn't it? So 2023, we add that together. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3, it equals 7, right? So we know that this is a 7 universal year. So this is a time, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's a time to be reflective. It's a time to be more introspective. It's asking ourselves, the big questions about what do we want? Where do we want to go? How do we want to get there? But it's also asking us to spend a lot of time alone in solitude. So you might not be feeling overly social and feeling like you want to hang out with anybody else other than yourself, right? It's a very spiritual year for exploring spirituality, and it's really demanding from us, asking us to surrender and trust in a much bigger power than ourselves. Man, that's tough for those of us who are already 7s, right? So if you're influenced by the 7 somewhere in your chart, you're feeling it big time, but also those of us who are control freaks, okay? So it is 2023 is a universal year of time out. So let's talk about the influence of the 7 universal year and how it affects the universal month of the 8. So the 8 universal vibration for October is going to emphasize a need for control, where the 7 is asking us to trust and surrender to something bigger. Okay. Well, the 8 says, go already, when the 7 says, oh yeah, but we got to pause. And then the 8 says, well, create something already. And then the 7 is saying, but I have no idea what I want to create. I'm really confused. I'm feeling kind of directionless. And then the 8 says, well, make it happen now. But the 7 is saying, but I still want to hang out in my cave. I want to be by myself. So how can you get the best out of these conflicting energies for October 2023? Well, first of all, you have to accept that all things are going to happen in divine timing. That's a tough one, right? But it's the truth. So we do need to surrender our need to control that. So releasing the need or resisting that need to control the outcome of anything that you're trying to manifest. It will happen in its own divine timing. Releasing your expectations while trusting that the universe has always got a better plan for you, even a better plan than you can possibly imagine. It's out of our scope of understanding, but it's there. But we need to be open to that. Stop worrying that you're running out of time. Many of you who, particularly those of you who hold the master energy, master 11s, 22s, 33s, are always living on the edge saying, oh God, but things, time's running out. Now I'm under the influence of the 8 that says I have to make it happen. Relax, take a breath, take a chill pill. Okay. It's going to be okay. The truth is the universe doesn't recognize linear time anyway. So there's no point in getting yourself all bent out of shape, wondering when it's going to happen. So releasing that anxiety of needing to know exactly when things are going to manifest is going to help an awful lot. Take a breath, right? Stay curious. I'm learning how to do this. Stay curious and open to the possibilities that you may not have even considered before. When we stay open, we're stepping out of our head, stepping into our heart, and we're able to kind of receive the guidance from the divine that we're looking for. It's kind of like, when you pray, you're talking, you're speaking, you're asking for what you need. But when you meditate, you're waiting for the answers. So it is a really good time to spend some time in meditation, listening for the guidance. But you know what, guys? I get it. I totally get it. This is a challenging energy for us control freaks. It really is. October is pushing us to create something and create it now, right? The emphasis is on now. But this month is a little different, right? October is going to be a bit of a juggling act between making it happen and waiting to receive the inspiration necessary to make it happen. There's a fine line there, isn't there? So remember that the universal year of 7 holds a greater influence than the universal month does. Okay, it's got a bigger punch, it's got a bigger influence. You're going to feel it more than the universal or the personal month that you're in. So we want to pay a little bit more attention to the vibration of the 7. Pay attention to the need to pause, even when all you want to do is go, right? It's a little, I mean, last month was intense, right? We had a 7 universal month, a 16/7 universal month at that, in a 7 universal year, okay? That was demanding a lot of pause. That was demanding a lot of us to stay in our caves. We were really restricted. And this month is a bit of a breath of fresh air, but you still have to pay attention to the influence of that 7 that's going on, right? So the good news is that we've all entered into the shadow season. I love the shadow season. In this case, we're in the shadow season of the 8 universal year, because 2024 is going to be an 8 universal year. And that's a time when we're all going to be able to climb out from underneath our rocks, climb out from underneath the covers, and start to trust that we can manifest with confidence. I promise you, you've got this. I promise you, it's going to get easier. And if you really want to be sure that you've got a good handle on how to make the best use of your time in 2024, now is the time that you want to consider exploring possibly one of my new soul signature readings. I really would love to offer you a roadmap to 2024, because you know what, guys? 2024 is going to be a massive year for all of us. It's going to be a huge year for all of us, and we do need to know how to manage it. So I hope that you will consider reaching out, because I would love to be there for you. I am hoping that you are creating your best day ever. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.